Hi, I'm Dr. Patricia Thompson, a corporate psychologist and executive coach, and today I want to talk about something that's deeply affecting how we lead, work, and show up in the world right now: uncertainty. Now, between the economic turbulence, political shifts, and global instability, as well as organizational changes that many of us are navigating, we're living in a time where the rules are changing, the ground is shifting, and very few people feel like they know exactly what's coming next. In my work with leaders, I'm seeing the ripple effects of that uncertainty everywhere. It's in how people are making decisions, in how they're communicating, and in how they manage or struggle to manage the emotional weight of it all. So how do you lead through all of this? Not just get by, not just keep up appearances, but actually lead with steadiness, clarity, and impact. So that's what we're going to explore today from both a psychological and a practical perspective. Okay, let's start at the core. So uncertainty is hard for a simple reason. The brain doesn't like it. We're wired for prediction. We feel safer when we know what's coming. And when we don't, the brain often interprets that as a threat, even if nothing bad has actually happened yet. So you might notice this as restlessness, overthinking, feeling foggy or mentally scattered, or a sense of unease that you can't quite name. And here's what's important. This is not a personal flaw. This is a very normal stress response. The real challenge? Leaders are expected to navigate this internal experience while also helping other people feel secure and guided. And that's a really high cognitive and emotional load. So let's talk about what effective leadership looks like in times like these. Not just in theory, but in real day-to-day moments. So I'm going to go through 5 strategies I share with my clients, executive leaders, founders, and managers who are leading through complex or uncertain times. So the first one is balance transparency with hope. You don't need to have all the answers, but you do need to be honest. People can sense when something isn't being said, and when they feel like there's a gap in communication, they often fill it with assumptions, usually worst case scenarios. That said, being transparent doesn't mean you have to deliver bad news in a heavy way. It's about balancing honesty with grounded optimism. For example, you might say something like, yes, we're in a time of uncertainty and that's real, but we're not frozen. We're thinking strategically, we're moving forward, and we're committed to navigating this together. That kind of communication builds trust and momentum. So people don't expect perfection, they want presence, honesty, and direction. Second, communicate, even when things are evolving. Silence breeds anxiety, like I said. And so when people don't hear from leadership, they start filling in the blanks themselves. And in uncertain environments, those blanks usually become stories rooted in fear, not fact. So you don't need to know everything to say something. A simple update like, here's what we know, here's what we're still figuring out, and here's what we're prioritizing this week can make a huge difference in how your team feels and performs. Even partial clarity is better than radio silence. Third, regulate yourself first. Your emotional state sets the tone. So if you come into a meeting feeling rushed, scattered, or frustrated, even if you don't say a word, people will feel it. It'll change how they show up too. This is why emotional self-regulation isn't soft. It's a strategic and very necessary skill. So before a key meeting or a difficult conversation, I recommend taking 30 seconds, pause, and then ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What tone do I want to set? And what energy would be most helpful for the group I'm leading? And that kind of intentional check-in can really shift the entire dynamic of a room. And over time, it builds psychological safety because people know that they can count on you to bring clarity and steadiness even when things are messy. Fourth, simplify the field of vision. What I mean by this is that when things feel chaotic, complexity can become a trap. And so I often see teams drowning in too many priorities, unclear timelines, and shifting goals. And when people don't know what to focus on, they tend to freeze or else spin in place. And so part of your role as a leader is to reduce that noise. Clarify what matters most right now, this week, this quarter, or this moment. Ask things like, what are our critical few priorities? What can we pause or let go of to focus better? How can I help my team move forward with less friction? And this isn't about dumbing things down, it's about creating space for meaningful progress. And then fifth, get support. You're not meant to hold this alone. Leadership, especially in complex environments, can be isolating. You're holding space for your team, your peers, maybe even your clients or stakeholders, and that emotional labor can quietly wear you down. So that's where coaching, reflection, and support come in. Now, you don't have to figure everything out on your own, and in fact, you'll be more effective if you don't try to. And that's why I offer structured, practical programs that can help leaders to strengthen their emotional intelligence, regulate under pressure, and lead with greater intention. So, if you're in a season where you're navigating uncertainty, whether that's inside your organization, in the world around you, or just within yourself, I want you to know you're not alone, and you can lead through this with steadiness, clarity, and compassion for yourself and others. And so to help with that, I've created 2 self-paced practical courses that are designed specifically for professionals. The first is a 21-day crash course in emotional intelligence, which is a hands-on toolkit for building awareness, empathy, and smarter leadership habits one day at a time. Believe it or not, it's been taken by over, 50,000 people at this point, so it's been beneficial. My second one is Mindfulness for Leaders, which is a course that can help you to reset, stay calm under pressure, and lead from a more grounded place, especially when things feel chaotic. Both are designed to fit into a busy schedule and offer you tools that you can use immediately. So you'll find the links below in the description, and if you'd rather connect one-on-one or bring this work to your team, feel free to reach out to me because I would love to support you. So anyway, thanks for watching and keep leading with presence. Just know that even in the unknown, your steadiness really does matter.